Good morning from PMI London. I'm joined by Facebook's Natalie Brieger, who just hosted a panel session on growth marketing. Natalie, could you just give us a quick overview of the session and any kind of key points to come out of it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the session was on growth marketing for the uninitiated. So the goal was, because it's one of those buzzwords that everyone uses, to just clarify what it actually is, and also what skills people actually need to either hire for a growth marketing team, or just if they want to become a growth marketer, what do they need to develop to get better at it. And we were really fortunate to have two great speakers. One of them was Nilan from TransferWise. So he's VP of Growth, and TransferWise has just exploded in the last few years, so you can't really get anyone better than that on the growth side of things. And then Will, he's worked at Google in a variety of different jobs, but most recently actually at Hatch, which is, they just provide really great learning courses. So then you've got the skill set as well. So it was really good. I mean, you guys should see the panel. I mean, it was a really good, just varied approach to the topic, and some interesting questions came about from, is it actually just for a startup environment? Because can you really merge product teams and marketing teams? Because most companies separate them. They don't even have the chance to talk to each other. And it was really interesting how they just felt that actually it's just the culture, and especially coming from Facebook as well, it is true. Like, we're now growing into quite a big company, so even we don't have that startup feel anymore yet. Yeah. Everyone has that responsibility to do their own work, and ultimately, if you want to work in that industry, that's just what you need to grow. You just need to keep that, I guess, the autonomy of people to just let them do what they want and not put the pressure on them that they need to deliver on very old school metrics.
Okay. So the upshot of this is that marketers need to kind of experiment with sort of new ways, kind of broaden their skill set. I mean, how do you suggest people go about starting with that?
I mean, I think the key thing is just not to just stick with one thing. I think nowadays, in terms of verticals and just the industry itself, it just changes so quickly that good, strong people on that team is just with diverse skills. So the ideal would be someone who's creative, problem solving, and maybe can code, but naturally those people just tend to be very different. So either hire a really strong team with diverse skills, or just be curious, learn as much as you can. And unfortunately, the pace of universities also just doesn't really go as quickly as the industry changes, but that's why there are there's interesting courses available online, or you can go to Hatch. They have a session coming up, and where you can just actually hone in on your skills or just learn completely new ones. And essentially, the good thing is nowadays there's so many industries that you don't even have to be local with them. You can just go global and work with an internet startup that you can actually find what you want. It may not be your passion that you had since you were a kid, because a lot of what we have today didn't exist back then, but just something you feel comfortable in, and just hone it, and as soon as you feel comfortable with it, change. Because when you're comfortable, then you're not learning anymore. Just keep challenging yourself just that little bit further, and it should help.
So just briefly, are there any kind of highlights that have come out of PMI this time?
I think in general, just the breadth and variety of speakers that you guys got together, and the quality of companies and the backgrounds was just really great. And walking around and interacting with all the different people, I think you guys did a great job. Like, it looks amazing. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much, Natalie.
Thank you.